Are you struggling with passing on FC25? Don't worry, because I am going to show you how to fix it. But first things first, passing is absolutely horrible on FC25. There are no two ways about it. I know that it sucks, but of course we have to do something about it. But before, it is important to understand what really changed this year. Long story short, EA claims that players will notice that passes now feel more personality based, meaning the skills and attributes of the player you are controlling will have a greater impact on the outcome of each pass. So, this is FC24's accuracy. Even if you are not looking in the direction where you're going to pass the ball, the pass will still work. However, in FC25 accuracy revamp, see, the pass just doesn't go the way it is supposed to go. Okay, this you can say on paper is a good change, but even the passes which are supposed to go aren't going. Here is a passing mistake that I make in my build up, and this is something that many FC25 players are doing as well. Look again, see, we are trying to pass the ball in our own half, but we absolutely look clueless. Like I showed you, this year the passing attributes really mean a lot. So let's say if you have someone who isn't the best passer, see, if I am facing upwards and I want to pass towards the left, see how the pass will look like. You see how bad that pass was? If someone was trying to intercept, they would actually intercept the pass. And we are used to of using players who have a 5-star weak foot, right? Since FC24 just ended. And all of us almost had 99 passing attributes. Now when we are playing FC25, a game where we have to exactly look at the face of the player we are trying to pass towards, we struggle to pass. Even I am used to of making this pass. When I'm going down the wing, I'm gonna pass inside like this. But this year, even this is so bad. So how do you fix it? We have to go back to the fundamentals. And the first pass we are going to talk about today is the most used pass, the normal X/A ground pass. How can you have more successful ground passes? One, there is a tactical change that you can make as well, which I will discuss later on. But for now, focus on the mechanical change, all right? See, guys, you have to exactly look in the direction you're going to pass the ball towards. I know we are used to of this. This is muscle memory. But see, this is how we will pass the ball opposed to what you just saw, okay? We are going to make a ball roll, then face the player and see. Look at the difference between this pass and now this pass. How sloppy is that second pass compared to something like this, you know, when you're facing the direction you're passing the ball towards. Now let's talk about first time passes. See, first time passes is something that you absolutely want to avoid in FC25. You saw how sloppy that pass is. It's really bad, really slow. Why? Because again, these players do not have the best passing attributes. If I am to make this pass with, let's say, Luka Modric, he will do it much better compared to Tchouaméni. This is why you must try not to do a first time pass unless you have the tiki-taka play style or players with really high passing attributes. I know it sucks. I know it makes the game slow. I'm not advocating that it's a good change, but we have to adjust. So try not to do first time passes, especially not in your own half. And always face the direction you're going to pass the ball towards. Now, if I have to pass to Vinicius, ball roll, left stick touch, then pass. Yes, EA is forcing us to slow our gameplay down. If that is a good thing or bad thing, I don't know, but this is what you have to do. The third pass we are going to talk about is the driven pass. The driven pass is one of the best passes to use in this game, guys. This year you have to include the driven pass. See, this is a normal pass and this is a R1X RBA driven pass. It is much better. But again, the same rule applies. You must look where you are passing the ball. Otherwise, it will not work. You have to take that extra left stick touch. I am also going to show a broken passing trick that will almost always work even in FC25. Now that we know we are always going to face in the direction we are going to pass the ball towards. And the second thing you have to try to do is try not to make too many first time passes. And the third one is to always pass the ball in triangles. This is a triangle between three players. This is a triangle. Always pass the ball in triangles. It will vastly improve your ball possession. Let's analyze my passing mistakes because this is where you are going wrong as well, guys. See, over here, I am going to pass the ball with the weak foot of De Jong. This is something you want to avoid. Try not to pass the ball on the weak foot of the players. See, weak foot and I am under pressure. And I am trying to pass the ball towards Llorente. So this is where my left stick is going, see. So the game thinks I'm going to pass the ball towards Patrick Guijarro because that is kind of where I am pointing towards, but at the same time Llorente is also next to me, so for some reason the pass goes to Guijarro and it gets intercepted. If I just waited and took another touch, I could have passed the ball easily to Llorente. Okay, so you have to wait. You want to choose the safest passes possible and try avoiding the weak foot. Even if it's a 4-star weak foot, I would say be very careful with it. Playing out from the back is one of the hardest things to do in FC25, and what I just did is the worst example of it. I am showing you so you don't do it. It's a muscle memory. All of us are used to of doing it. All right, we used to have good players, more passing assistance. We used to have better players, and there was no such pinpoint accuracy revamp which EA did this year. Look, Saliba is off balance when I am passing because I am not looking in the direction of where I'm trying to pass the ball towards. Do not do that. And then I do a first time pass. The worst thing you can do in your own half is to do a first time pass. And this is what happens once you focus on everything I told you. Just look at how fluent the passing will be in these clips, guys. I am using the short passing tactic. If you struggle for the passing runs, if you struggle with the movement of your players and you think they are not coming really close, you can try short passing. It will give you more passing options, definitely. See, this is tiki-taka. First touch passing. It works sometimes, but you have to do it in the right places at the right time. Definitely not in your own box. Because if you make such mistakes, see, this is what happens. Do not try to pass the ball under pressure either. This is the most consistent way of passing the ball in FC25. You need to use the L1 triangle with a player who has the long ball pass plus playstyle, like Patrick Guerrero, for example. This is why so many pro players are using her. You saw how we were able to do that pass into Hakimi and we ended up almost scoring from it. It's just because of that long ball. Here, look, once again, we're going to do it on the first touch. Even on the first touch, it works and it is absolutely broken. Then we'll do a player lock pass. Player locks are great. If you want to pass the ball sideways, try to use the player lock. So we are going to trigger a manual run by clicking L1/LB on our controller, and our left back will start running. Then we will wait for him to be on the last man. This worked in FC24 as well, by the way. And once he is on the last man, we are going to do an L1 triangle with someone who has a long ball pass plus playstyle. And see, it is absolutely amazing. So, like I said, if you want to pass the ball sideways and you have to do it, like in this situation, I would rather do it with the player lock on. On the player lock, the AI seems to perform it much better. The pass just travels in a better speed compared to if you were doing it normally. At least that is what I have noticed. It's still a sloppy pass, but somewhat better. Now for the ground through passes, guys, what matters is, again, the attributes and the same rules that we discussed, looking in the direction where you're going to pass to. And another thing comes to it, of course, it is the timing, okay? You want to have some sort of space between two players to make that through pass, of course, and have enough space in front of the player that you're trying to make the through pass for. Then once he is on the last man, just try to accurately point your left stick between the space towards the player and ask for the through pass. This here, it is all about using that left stick to perfection. And if you have stick drift, then you are doomed. Go get a new controller, because otherwise you will have a lot of passing errors in your build-up. And that is the worst thing that can happen to you. Now that you have learned how to improve passing, check this video out here to actually improve your left stick dribbling.